So this week on my Game of Thrones series, we're making something you've seen a lot of on the show. We're making milk of the poppy, but not really, because that's actually a real thing that has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. So let's get into it. What is milk of the poppy? Well, milk of the poppy is actually like a real thing.
What's that?
Milk of the poppy.
I don't want any.
Poppies are the plant that produces opium and morphine and heroin. So if you were producing drugs, if you were growing drugs, you would have your poppy field. And when the seed pods on the poppies are ripe and full, you would come out and slash them with a knife and milk would drip out and you would collect it like you were collecting maple syrup. You would cook it and distill it down and make it more and more concentrated until it becomes opium. So we're not gonna do that. What we are gonna make is a poppy seed orgeat, and I've got my batch of it right here. It's pretty simple to make. What I did was I took a lot of poppy seeds and I put them in a blender with an equal amount of water and an equal amount of sugar, and I blended them until everything was dissolved and the poppy seeds were pretty pulverized. And then I let that soak for an hour so that the sugar and water mixture would extract a lot of flavor from those poppy seeds. And then I put that through my juicer, which is a centrifugal juicer. Centrifugal, that's tough to say after you've shot 3 or 4 episodes of How to Drink. It was really good at stripping away the liquid from the seeds. That's how I make a lot of my orgeats. It's much faster. The other way to do it would be use something called a nut bag. Yeah, I know it's a stupid name. It's a real thing. It's a flannel or felt bag that you fill with your wet nuts that you're making a nut milk from, and then you squeeze it. It's sort of like a heavier version of a cheesecloth. You'll see that there's a lot of kind of crushed up poppy seeds still in there. I kind of liked that. If I really wanted to strain that out, I could, but I didn't object to it being in there, and I've kind of left it for this case.
Something with poison in it, I think. With poison in it. But attractive to the eye and soothing to the smell. Poppies. Poppies will put them to sleep.
A couple of words of warning. As far as I know, and I'm not a chemist, a doctor, or a maester, so as far as I know doesn't go too far, this will not get you high. There's not a quantity of opiates in here that is sufficient to opiate you in any meaningful sense of the word. But I will guarantee that you will fail any drug test you take after drinking this. If that is a concern for you, please do not drink this cocktail. I do not want to be responsible for you losing your job or failing a drug test or going back to prison.
You'll need milk of the poppy.
No milk of the poppy.
There won't be pain.
I'll scream.
Quite a bit of pain.
I'll scream loudly.
The first thing I want to put in is 3/4 of an ounce of my poppy seed orgeat. Now I want 1/2 ounce of curaçao. And I need 2 ounces of my cognac. Cognac makes a lot of sense to me. You know, you're a lord or a king or somebody of import, you're wealthy. Cognac might be how I would take my milk of the poppy. And I'm gonna rinse the glass I'm gonna serve this in with a little bit of absinthe. Now I wanna shake this over ice. Okay, 1 big cube in there. I'm gonna leave this without a garnish. You know, you could rim the glass with poppy seeds on one side or something for presentation purposes, but in my case, we're just gonna leave this one alone. There it is, milk of the poppy. And one of the nice and happy accidents I find from the poppy orgeat is there's something in here that causes it to almost loche. You see how much the drink has changed to a milky white. I mean, it looks like milk. So it really does look the way we expected it to. Of course, there's no actual milk in this. It's not a dairy-based drink at all. Let's give it a taste and see how it is. Oh, wow. Oh my God, I love that. So it's orangey. The orgeat is pretty present. The cognac, hard to explain, but it just kind of gives it this bassy warmth that runs right through it and hits your chest like cognac kind of does. And the poppy seed is omnipresent. You just get really strong essence of poppy and a long-lasting intermingling of that poppy and orange, and that really works very well together. I think there's a lot of pastries that kind of rely on that kind of an idea, like lemon cakes, you know, that citrus and poppy seed kind of thing. It's a woody sort of sweetness that sort of dances on the side of your tongues. And it's hard to tell where that stops and the orange starts. The two really are playing together very, very well. Now it's getting tough to tell where anything starts and stops, to be frank. No, I'm fine. One thing that I think is really cool about this drink, too, that I think bears focus on is the mouthfeel. It does have a very creamy, mouth-coating kind of texture that really plays into this milk of the poppy concept. I love that. I think that's a really wonderful surprise. The poppy seeds are very olfactory when you taste them. You have a sensation of them, for me, running up your nose. Like the flavor is there much more, as much as it is in your mouth. It's one of those kinds of flavors for me. That's good. And now I'm realizing too, the absinthe is lending a little bit of herbaceousness to it. Just a little bit, brings it into that kind of apothecary's concoction. When you put it all together, to me, it evokes my idea of what that old, water of life, the aquavites, the alcohols, what the kings would have made in small quantities that were tonics and preservatives and quote medicines. It feels and tastes to me period appropriate, even though the world of Game of Thrones seems to have very, very limited amounts of distillation. I am Greg. This is How to Drink, the show about making cocktails and how to drink them. And we're doing a special series here on Tuesdays where I'm making drinks inspired by and from and about Game of Thrones for the duration of the final series of Game of Thrones. So come back every Tuesday. I'll see you Friday with a regular episode of How to Drink. And until then, just remember that the night is dark and full of terrors. Do you guys think that Tyrion is Tywin's son, by the way? I don't know about that. Might be that he's the offspring of Tywin's wife and the Mad King Aerys, who was always lusting after the Lady Lannister. Is it possible that when Tyrion was born with white blonde hair and one blue eye, as he is in the book, because in the book he looks very different than in the show, and he looked real Targaryen-ish, that Tywin, in a fit of rage, killed his own wife and blames his bastard son for it? It could be so, just so that you have that to put in your pipe and smoke.